In July 1915, Britain had been at war with Germany for almost a year.
A short, glorious adventure had become bogged down in the battlefields of Belgium.
Pinned down by shellfire and machine guns, the men had dug down. Trench warfare had arrived. Thousands died. The government, eager to break through the deadlock, looked to the brightest minds for inspiration.
Foster & Co of Lincoln had a long-established name for building agricultural machinery. They had experimented with link tracks or caterpillar tracks as a way of farming the wet lowland fens.
Maybe the same technology could be used to build an armoured vehicle that could cross the mud and trenches, smashing through the enemy lines.
William Tritton and Lieutenant Walter Gordon Wilson began experimenting, adjusting the design with every prototype.
Because the work was top secret, people were told that they were creating water tanks from Mesopotamia.
This is how the strange contraptions became known as tanks.
Hi, I'm Emily.
And I'm Brianna.
While we were doing a project on World War I this autumn, we found out a fantastic fact.
Our great-grandma was one of the young women employed by Fosters to help build their tanks.
She's even on this photograph with the other proud workers.
We wondered what life was like 100 years ago as one of Lincoln's tank girls.
We sent our roving reporters,
Lucy and Gracie,
to find out what evidence they could find
about tanks
in modern Lincoln. Over to you!
Hi, we're here in Lincoln and we're on busy Tristan Road in front of the monument that commemorates the building of the first tank. This part shows the men looking at the secret blueprints. This is the foreman checking everything is made properly. This part represents the women, like Emily and Brianna's grandmother, who helped build the tanks. This is Burston Park, just outside of Lincoln. This is where the tanks were brought for secret testing. You can just imagine the tanks making their way across the fields. Hi, we're here at the Museum of Lincolnshire Life. We're here to look at their replica of a William Foster & Co designed tank called Daphne. The original tank was built in 1916 and was sent straight to the front. Daphne is a female tank as she has 5 machine guns. As we all know, females are always more dangerous. From this angle, you can just imagine how scary it would be to have one of these coming towards you. Ah! We've had great fun learning about tanks at the Lincolnshire Life Museum. Now back to Emily and Brianna.
We invited tank expert Richard Pullen to have a chat.
Richard is the expert on the Lincoln tanks and part of the trust that built the memorial. Hello and welcome to Branson Junior Academy.
Our great-grandma, Grace Edna Brown, started work at Foster & Co when she was 17. What kind of jobs would she have done?
She would have done very hard work, making track shoes, and the men would have done the heavy work like putting the actual tank body together, but the women would have done all the machining. They would have drilled the holes in the parts and ground them down and made sure they were smooth, and used lots of very complicated machines that prior to working at Foster's they would have had no idea how to work.
Was it dangerous?
It was, yes, it could be very dangerous. They worked very long shifts, 12-hour shifts, and it made them very tired, and you had to be careful. You could easily lose a finger or an eye or get caught up into the machinery. It was very, very dangerous, hot, heavy work, yes.
Did any famous visitors come to the factory?
They did, yes. You had a lot of famous visiting generals, Haig and Churchill, all sorts of people, and foreign generals, French generals and American army generals, and even the King and Queen Mary came to Lincoln in 1918, and they toured around all the factories, Ruston's and Clayton's, and went to Foster's and had a look inside the tank, yeah.
Why did you think it was important to have a monument to the tank makers?
Well, the tank did make a big difference eventually, as we've said, and it really did end the First World War. It ended the stalemate of the trenches First World War was a war that couldn't have been won unless we'd been able to get over the barbed wire, and the tank let us do that. So it's very important that we mark that. And it was also something that was made by ordinary people here in Lincoln. An ordinary factory, civilian workers, many of them women, built this tank, which ended the war and saved hundreds of thousands of lives in a way. So we thought it was very important that that was marked, and that Lincoln should be very proud of people like your great-grandmother.